everybody. We're making sauce today, Italian SUGO. We call it SUGO. Unfortunately, our parents are older now, so we can't get that homemade sauce that they used to make every season. So we have a really easy way of kind of trying to replicate mom and dad's sauce on the go, like when we're in a rush. So I just wanted to show you, there's products that are imported from Italy where you get these wonderful tomatoes. This one here is Fiore Fiore. It's product of Italy, and it already has like some basil and garlic in it. You can get it like plain if you want. There's Emma products. It really doesn't matter. If you get the tomatoes that are from Italy, they are great. And then they also come in like jars like this, strained tomatoes. So you can get like, this one is the Martelli brand, Passata. Of course, we don't need to use all of these. We're gonna probably take one big can, a little bit of paste. So whatever tomato paste, you could just use a little bit of that. And probably like one of these. So we're gonna use those three. You need garlic, you need green onion, we've just cut it up here, and absolutely need some fresh basil. It smells so wonderful. In the summertime we grow it, but for now we just buy the organic stuff. So we're just gonna make it. We've got a mix of lean ground beef and some pork frying up in our pan. We'll put a little bit of salt and pepper in there. And we're just gonna put the tomatoes in a bowl and kind of squash them, because these are whole peeled tomatoes. So we'll just put them in our bowl, we'll squash them, and then we're gonna add all this wonderfulness together to make our quick homemade SUGO. Pork and lean ground beef. Usually if you go to the Italian market or pretty much any market, sometimes they'll have like the 3 varieties in a pack. So they'll have like, just to give it more flavor to the SUGO, they'll have a little bit of pork, a little bit of lean ground beef, and a little bit of the regular ground beef. And that mixture adds a lot of flavor. Now we're gonna drain this fat, like the fat part, so that we don't get all that oil in our sauce. My mom, she puts spare ribs in the SUGO, like, so you know, like the ribs that you get, she cuts them up and she has them cook, like slow cook in her sauce. Like if you have time to cook your sauce like over the course of a day, sometimes we'll do that in a slow cooker, so that by the time we come home from work, the SUGO's been like cooking on very low heat. Spare ribs add a lot of flavor to the sauce, and then the meat just falls right off the bone. But again, for this, it's so fast. Like, we just quickly fry up the meat, drain it, and then we'll add our sauce. Like this. Layers of oil in your SUGO. So that's just to kind of like get drain all the lovely ground beef. Okay, look. Okay, so we're all set. I'm gonna drizzle the olive oil in the pan. You never want to burn your olive oil. So we're gonna put the heat low. And to start, you can get fresh garlic. This is fresh garlic in my opinion. I just don't want to like have my hands smell like garlic afterwards. So I do it this way. I just buy it in a jar. We have our green onion that has been washed and just cut. We're going to cook that together. Our basil is also, this is organic basil. We just washed it and we're going to pat dry it. for after when we have all our sauce in there. This is where the house ends up smelling with a nice aroma. In our household, it was traditional that every Sunday we would have SUGO. And when we would come home from church, like we would come and have like a wonderful like homemade meal together where everybody sits around the table and just enjoys Sunday lunch. Like that. A little bit of paste in here. Not too much. Okay, so the paste, you really only need like 1/3 is all you really need for the paste. Okay, so that's gonna go in here. And now carefully, so this is the one that we used. And you don't want your garlic to burn.
Oh my god, that's so good.
Smell-o-vision. Wish, right? Friends at home smell.
Yeah.
How wonderful this is.
I wish the smell could like come right through the camera.
I'm gonna add some passata to this. This is strained tomatoes. Everybody loves that part.
Yum.
People can make this in a deeper pot if they want, but for us, like it's really quick. Just to fry up the meat. And sometimes we do it in a slow cooker over the course of the day. The whole house smells lovely, like all throughout the day. Like usually if I put like ribs in the SUGO, they slow cook all day. By the time you come home, it's like fall off the bone. It's so good, and it adds so much flavor to the sauce. And of course, if you're vegetarian, you don't have to put ground beef in it at all. You could. There's all kinds of like meatless meatballs nowadays that you can add to add flavor, or you could just make it on its own, plain. Yeah, plain sauce is lovely. Sometimes plain sauce with pasta and fresh ricotta cheese. So good. Basil, and I put like whole leaves in it, so that'll just continue to add to the flavor. In the summertime, we have this growing in the back. And we're going to put a lot of it in here because it just adds so much goodness to it. So we'll take all of it. Good. That's all there is to it. Now it just has to kind of like cook on low heat. And the amount of time is really up to the individual, like how much of a rush are they to have dinner. Like you can still season it as you go with salt and pepper. But pretty much this is the base of your traditional Italian SUGO sauce. Just a quick note on pasta. So you really need to read the ingredients, not ingredients, but the instructions. We have gluten-free pasta, Barilla, it doesn't matter what brand. Actually, sometimes it matters what brand.
Like Catelli?
Catelli,
yeah.
yeah. And we have Barilla here. So for gluten-free, obviously, we boil the pasta in a completely separate pot. This needs to boil for
Usually 7.
this says for 10 minutes. So this brand is a little bit different because it's like the penne. So this one's 10 minutes. I usually go a minute under what they say, like just so that it's not overcooked. Yeah. And then for us, our penne. So again, the brand, you can't really go wrong with pasta, but this one here is probably 8 minutes. If I'm not mistaken. Let me just double check. For 8 minutes, yeah. So this one's for 8 minutes. Again, I would boil it in a separate pot. You want to use like a pasta strainer, like, you know, anything that's a strainer. Strain your pasta completely. And then we usually like serve it in a casserole. We put some of the sauce on the bottom of our dish and we put the pasta in and we mix it all, family style, like we hand the bowl around the table, and then we have the sauce separate that people can put on top of their pasta. And then products like this, bomba products, so you have like pepper mix. It's so delicious, like it adds so much goodness. But we discovered something new recently. This is delicious, spicy bomba. The product is Farm Boy. We bought it at Sobeys. We've stocked up on these now. It's so delicious. Like this really takes your pasta to the next level. So yeah, we just bought like 3 more of these. This is like a fresh one. That's what it looks like when you. And then of course, anyone that wants even more spice could add, you know, more hot peppers on top. Parmesan, Romano, mozzarella, whatever you want on top of the pasta. That's all there is to it. Guys, I hope you try it. It's super easy to make. You don't have to have your own homemade sauce. You could easily make this probably like within half an hour. You can have it all like so that it's brewing, you know, and then it's up to you. You just keep the heat on low. In the meantime, boil your pasta, get your family around the table. You have options. You can have it cook for a longer time if you have time, or you could just make it like I just did and serve it. I hope that you all try it. All this SUGO's making us hungry, and it's right about lunchtime, so we're going to be making some pasta and eating it all up. Have yourself a great day.
Smells so good.